Welcome back to the Failed Podcast. I am your host, Sam Iscabel. I hope that you have been enjoying our recent episodes as we dive into different aspects of failure and what I've learned from failure and doing the Failed Podcast. These are short format videos, but they're meant to teach you and give you new insight, maybe just something to think about on your day to day as you're watching this, and hopefully you're subscribed to our channel and you're sharing it. Please look at the description below. All my info is there. Like, subscribe, and comment. Help us grow this channel. Help us spread the word about failure and how we shouldn't fear it. And for sure, we cannot let failure have the final word. But the word for today, the topic for today is this: learning through mistakes. It's very natural for us to learn from our mistakes when we're young. There's no other way around it. You are born and you're a little kid, and you fall and you learn. You ride your bike, you fall, you learn. You learn how to eat and drink and turn things on, turn things off, do puzzles and Legos. Give me 1 second. Got to turn the fan on. If you hear the white noise in the background, don't let it bother you. It's just the fan. And so we learn so much when we're little, and it's kind of important for our life journey. And we learn everything. Sorry, I'm looking at the screen, not the lens, but I fixed that now. So in life, in the early stages, we learn so much, and then at some point we don't want to continue. We look at learning a little bit different. Everything is kind of natural. Everything is just like, I can do it, move on. We forget to look for opportunities to learn. And I feel like that should be a daily thing, whether it be reading a book, talking with someone that can teach us something, asking the right questions. Learning is a powerful thing. And so I think that the topic for today is fitting, and that is learning through mistakes, because that's how we are built. That's how we become, from kids to infants to kids to young adults to adults. It's a constant journey of learning. Oh, the iron's hot, don't touch it. Oh, I don't like how this tastes, don't eat it. This is how we perform this task, let's make it better. This broke, let's avoid breaking it again. It's constant. But because it's constant, sometimes we can overlook the opportunity, right? And maybe writing down what we learned. That might be the key that we are missing, because we learn a lot of things like as a reflex, but how are we, it makes it hard to share and to teach other people. And so I think that learning through mistakes is going to happen naturally, but are you notating it? Are you learning from it? I think that's where those that get to their big goals, I think that's what separates us. And so here's the phrase for today from James Joyce, and it says this: mistakes are the portals of discovery. And how is that true? A while back on an old video, I talk about the slinky. And the slinky was made because it was like, there was a husband and wife. They were making other mechanical things, and that, whatever the slinky is, was the end result of fabricating something else, and voila, it came from that. The hard hat in construction sites, like, it came from things hitting people's heads, and so we learn from our mistakes. A lot of tools, a lot of processes, and yellow tape, and this and that. It's all because of mistakes. And so we learn, and then it innovates something. It opens a portal for something new, and all of a sudden it becomes normal. And so for us, it's the same way. Our mistakes open portals for what it is that we need, so that we're safer when we make the mistake next time, so that we are wiser if the mistake should happen to us or someone else. And so, mistakes are a natural part of the learning process. So do you like to learn? Then you need to learn from your mistakes. And that's the main lesson for today. That's the main subject. Mistakes are a natural part of the learning process. And sometimes we prefer to only talk about the things that go good. I planned this and it worked out. I'm amazing. I'm smart and so on. And that's better and probably easier to share whenever you're speaking to others. It makes you look a certain way, makes you look better. But what if we said, I planned this, it didn't work out, I didn't have enough foresight, and I made this mistake, but in that mistake, here are 10 things that I learned. I haven't made those mistakes in a long time because I learned from it. And so I like that idea. I like that the portal is that it opens up the world to new possibilities that you would not have seen. You were only looking for the results of positive outcomes, but there's so much innovation in mistakes. And I'm talking from the beginning of time to now. Every time something doesn't work out, something is more difficult than it should be, something breaks, so there's a mistake. If you put your mind to it, right? If you're learning from those mistakes, it will naturally be improved on, right? That's our natural reflex. But if you notate it, if you make it part of your process to understand that learning through mistakes is important, now you become a teacher of it. Now you become a motivator around that subject for those around you who maybe haven't got that wisdom. Think about that. And so I have 2 points that I want to talk about as far as, when it comes to learning through mistakes. And the first one is this: analyze your mistakes to gain insight. That means understand it. Don't just see it and be like, make this quick adjustment and move on. Understand see it all the way through, see it from several angles, talk to other collaborate with other people to see if you've overlooked something, if it was something that just happened because something wore out, or if it was something that happened because someone was lazy or something got overlooked. And so when you analyze, then you gain insight. Insight means it's not just like learning, it's deeper learning. It's an understanding. So when we have insight into things, then we're able to teach it a lot better. When we learn, we're able to adjust, keep going forward. There's a lot of benefits with just learning. Don't get me wrong. But when you have insight, that's when it separates those that are not only able to learn for themselves, but you're able to teach it and communicate it to someone else so that they can learn. And so we analyze. And when we analyze, it gives us insight. And that's what we're looking for in these failures. We're looking for insight. We're not simply just looking, let me just reach my goal. Let me just get to it. Move. Fast. It's not that. What have you gained along the way? Is it a book? Whatever. Is it a talk? Is it, you name it. And then that is what you give to the world. And other people will be better off because of it. But it's the insight that we gain that's so important. Here we go. Point number 2, don't be afraid to make new mistakes as you explore new territories. We want to it's nice to be in areas or when we're comfortable and certain and we know what's going on. We know the people, we know the process, we know the product. We know. But don't be afraid, because new mistakes in fixing it, might introduce you to a new client. It might introduce you to a new, a mastermind class, or like-minded thinkers on the subject that you felt, not on the subject that you originally started. And then those connections take you to new areas. You may have to learn from someone else that you weren't prepared to learn from. It may cause you to have to look down the line and say, this is the individual that I need to learn from because they understand this. Or you might seek wisdom through an older person that you never thought was going to be able to give you knowledge on a certain subject, but because of what they did when they were young, whatever it was new, they understand it a little bit different than you. That's new territory. And in mistakes, we end up there. And I think that that's the fun part. I think that's the great part about making mistakes, is seeing where it takes you and who it introduces you to, so that you can gain wisdom and learn. And I think that we should all strive to do that. But in doing that, right, and in entering into these new territories, it's so important for us to ask the right questions, to have enough ear in the conversation, not just talk, but learn to listen, learn to ask the right questions. And new territories will give you new perspectives, new knowledge, and think about it, they came from failure, right? And so keep on learning through your mistakes. Let me read the quote again because I liked it. James Joyce said, "Mistakes are the portals of discovery." Go ahead, hop in your rocket ship, man, and just explore, right? Put on your hat like Indiana Jones and go explore. Or to be funny, like Dora the Explorer. Go out and explore and learn new things. They might come from good. They might come because you seeked it, but failure might redirect you, take you down a new path, put you in front of a new person, a new industry, a new something. And when you're in that territory, when you're in that new territory, you can say thank you to my failure, thank you to my setback, because it got me here. But what I'm gaining here is going to leapfrog you, way ahead and get you closer to your dreams and goals. I don't know, man. Failure, it's time to just shift it, man. Shift the way that we teach, that we talk about failure, the way that we go through failure. Change it. Let's change it. Let's be better because we're failing. But in the failing, we know we're getting closer to our dreams, and I hope that you're getting closer to your dreams. I also hope that you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for tuning in to the Failed Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and like our YouTube channel and follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. All the links, descriptions are below. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one. Let me do this.